If your livestock love to waste hay like mine, this is the hay feeder that you need to build. Super easy, super fast, super cheap, and it has saved me so much money in hay. I've been using this one for a few months now and I absolutely love it. So now I'm gonna build another for the other half of my barn. And I'm gonna take you all along with me to show you exactly how I do it. Thankfully, I had 2 crates that I've been able to use to make these hay feeders. However, this is a design that you could recreate very easily just with any scrap wood you have laying around. So the first step for me, since I do have this crate, is to take one of the sides off. So this side is screwed on here. So I'm gonna take the screws out so then I can hammer a couple of these pieces off since they're nailed in from the other end, if that makes sense. I'm gonna save these because I'm gonna use them when I put it back on. So you can see the nails are nailed in from the inside. So what I'm gonna do now is use a sledgehammer to get these 3 pieces of wood off. So I'm leaving the larger piece on the bottom and the smaller piece on the top and making a gap in the middle for the goats to get their heads in. So the next step is to do the same thing to this side over here. Since this side and this side will be up against a wall, I'm not really gonna worry about taking these pieces off. However, I do need to take this side off in order to knock these pieces off since it's screwed into these. I left the bottom one over here and I'm not gonna take those off since that's not gonna mess me up at all. I'm just gonna go ahead and sweep it out since I have it open. Now all I have to do is put the screws back. So close. Now this in itself is a great hay feeder. However, if you have goats or animals like mine, they will try and waste hay any possible way. So I like to do one more step to make it even less wasteful. And for this, we're gonna need a little bit of fencing. I just use the fencing that we have out in the field. We had a little bit left over, so I'm just gonna cut some of that up, but you could use whatever you have laying around. So I'm gonna measure the inside of this and then get a piece of fence that will fit directly down on top of the hay. It's better for the piece of fence to be smaller than bigger than the space in there because you obviously need it to fit down in. So this is what it looks like right now. So you can see it fits right down in there. There's a little space on the edge, but that's okay. Now I'm gonna take 3 of these fencing nails. I'm gonna put 2 on the back there, connecting it, and then I'm gonna put 1 right here where I can hook it on with a carabiner clip. I just nailed these into these posts. And I nailed them in pretty far so that they're sure not to come out. We're just not gonna look at that one. I think I went into a knot, but it's not moving, so we're good. This hook here has a carabiner on it. I did definitely make this fence piece a little bit too thin because this is kind of hard to get on right now, but the fence should stretch over time, so I'm assuming that this will be easier to clip on as time goes on. But now I just need to get some hay in there and then move it to the barn. I will say the other hay feeder I made, I ended up raising it. So I found little pieces of wood that are pretty much what's on the bottom now. And I just put an extra layer of wood there to make it taller. And then I did make a lid as well. This one is primarily for the baby goats, so I don't think I'm gonna have to do either of those. When I get to the barn, I'll show you what the bottom and top looks like on the other hay feeder, just so You can make that if that's what you need, but for now, I'm just gonna leave this as is. So you can see the one that I have made already has a lid. This is just a little random thing I found in our basement that I knocked a piece of wood off so that I would have 2 handles and it'll sit down. Again, might do that for the other one. Mr. Jeff is being a menace. And then I found these little pieces of wood that I put on the bottom as well, just to lift it up a little bit. So we'll see if I need to do that with this other one. I like that the babies can reach it without having to jump in, but the parents are also trying to jump over. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, this seems like it's gonna work out just fine. These hay feeders have saved me so much money in hay. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, but for now, God bless and have a great day. I'm gonna say goodbye, Isla.